Let's have a look, see who's here. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here tonight with me. You are going to have such a sublime and divine experience. I absolutely promise. Let's see who's on here. Andrea's here. Hannika's here. Ludmila, my darling, how wonderful to see you. Michael's here. Tanya's here. So I know that there's a whole bunch of other people that are due to be on this webinar. So let's just give them a minute or two to make sure that they've logged in properly and got everything. Did you find it okay, everyone, getting through on that link? If you have a look I'm not quite sure. Hi, Michael. So if you just go to the side, you should see a chat box where you can all make comments, and you can put your hand up as well. There's a little hand thing that you can put up if you want to ask a question. And I'm also going to be doing a poll with you tonight that I've never done before on a webinar. So fingers crossed I get it right with all this tech. Hi guys, thank you for joining. It's so wonderful to have you here. So what I'd like you to do before we get totally started, where is it? Make sure you have water if you haven't got it already. And I highly recommend you getting your headphones so that you have a much more beautiful kind of focused listening time. You've got a minute, just go and grab those things right now. And while we're waiting, I'd like everybody to reach their arms up like this, have a nice stretch in the back, over to that side, over to that side. Tip your head back. Let's give this body a little bit of attention, and now wrap your arms around yourself. You can even close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and say, welcome here, me. Welcome me. Yep, say it out loud, not in your head. And then your ears can hear it, and that message goes in, welcome here, me. And just take a beautiful breath or two as you let your awareness realize that you're acknowledging yourself for a change. Because I can welcome you all I like and send you all my love and hold you and acknowledge you and nurture you and caress you and tell you how wonderful you are. And I know it's going to go in about that deep. I know that most of it will just bounce off the surface and the mind will be a complete block, and you'll be, oh, that's nice. Oh. And you will also think about it. Does she really mean it? Am I really that? Is she just saying it? Okay, so you're going to have loads of doubts if you are just listening to your mind. You are in a state, and you can put your hands up if you agree with this, okay? You are welcome, everybody, more people arriving. You can put your hands up in the little raise the hand thing if you agree with me that, you know, when people tell you they love you or they tell you good things, does it just tend to go about skin deep and then the rest of it doesn't really get in? Does that happen? Have you been told so many times that you're an amazing person, or that you're very loving, or that you're very beautiful or handsome, or that people love you? And what if when people are appreciating you, I'm guessing that you don't even hear it. It's like you've got your fingers in your ears, and your ears are blocked, and it's a bit like blah, 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 and it just doesn't go in. And even if it does, it doesn't tend to hit that spot where the bells are ringing and the fireworks are going off, and you just get it and you feel, you know, completely on air. How often does that happen? How much of other people's messages of love get in? Okay, let's have a see. Did you put your hands up? Did you find the handy thing, by the way, guys? Can you just maybe type into the chat box, can you find the hand raisey thing? You can see that I don't have the technical term. Yay, there's the hand raisey thing. That's fabulous. Okay, great. Andrea's got the hand raisey thing. Are you the only one? Does everybody else then on this webinar, Antonia's hand raising, oh great. So does everybody else on this webinar then feel like, no, Tara, we don't know what you're talking about. when people say thank you to me, it goes in deeply and it explodes my heart, and I feel 100% appreciated, and it really gets in. Is that what you guys are saying, or you just you just can't be asked to to put the handy thing up? Okay, so tonight what's going to happen? You've got your water, you've got your headphones. So tonight I'm going to be giving you the biggest #1 spiritual mistake. It's really not taught. And I mean, I'll tell you my story in a few minutes, and I'll tell you why I believe this and why I think this. It is the #1 mistake that spiritual people make. And I know you're probably going to have a barrage of questions about that, but I'm ready for that. And the other thing is I'm going to teach you the 3 key phrases that will totally change your life. It's like, I know that you say these things already, but it's like that medicine. You got to deliver it in the right place for the medicine to work. So I'm going to teach you those 3 key phrases in this session that's just going to literally blow your mind. And I'm also going to give you something that gives you an instant connection to you. And when I say you, I mean the divine, spiritual, angelic, loving, godlike, source energy, like universal you. And it's also going to give you connection to the very human, down to earth, in this physical body, on this planet, going through all kinds of crazy shit and transformations and super blue moons and, you know, all all the stuff that you guys go through in a real human way, and all the stuff that goes on in the background of your subconscious mind that is just your quiet, sneaky little secret voice that nobody else really sees. We're going to also have instant connection, a beautiful instant connection with that. And it's all about unconditional love, all which way around. And we're going to bridge the gap actually between the human and the divine. And that's also another thing that virtually all spirituality does. It has this huge gap between the human or God or the universe, and then us lowly little creatures down here on this human planet and third density and not as perfect as everything else. You know, there's a huge gap. And in this session tonight, I'm just going to help you close that gap. Okay, that is my promise to you. Filling in that missing piece of your spiritual life and of your personal development, your human growth, to realize who you are. So you're also going to get that self-realization and that plugging in to, let's call it source energy or consciousness. And it gives you this feeling of really coming home. And I know that for a lot of us, there's a lot of overwhelm, there's a lot of feeling lost, and life is pretty crazy. So just to be able to come home and have that beautiful, like when you come into the harbor, you know, when you've been out on the storm, out on the seas, busy, 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 dealing with everything, trying to control everything or direct your life or trying to steer it in a certain way or try to get your needs met or try to, you know, get attention from other people, make your relationships work, make your businesses work, all that kind of stuff. And it gets crazy and you can get lost. And this is that place where you can just come home to you. Come home. And it's really beautiful and it's really simple. And I know that unless you've worked with me before, and some of you on this call have, and some of you haven't ever worked with me before. And so those of you that have never worked with me before, you've never experienced anything like this. I can guarantee that it's kind of brand new. I made it up, that's why. Well, I didn't just make it up. I'm going to tell you actually. Is it okay if I... Hold on, I've just got my list of things so I don't forget. Before I share with you about where this comes from and a little bit about me and why I think I have the nerve to sit here and take up your valuable time and, you know, why would you listen to me? I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and I'm also going to tell you about myself because my story, I think you will relate to it, and it's really validating. And I know how important it is to have our own selves validated when somebody else shares. So first of all, who is this for? So people exactly like you, I think every single one of you on this call can put your hands up. It is for people who are out there to give and serve others. Take a deep breath. Is that you? I happen to know it absolutely is. You care about making a difference. You care about giving and serving others. It's what you do. You're fully loving, beautiful people. And this is also for those people who are seeking their spirituality. Maybe you've done loads of different meditations. Maybe you've done lots of workshops and yogas and all these different things, and you're just trialing out all these different spiritual ways. And maybe some of you have found things that work for you, and some of you that haven't and are still looking. So for those of you that just, you know, whether you're collecting techniques or whether you're finding for that, you know, looking for that real thing that hits the spot, I'm hoping and trusting that tonight I'm going to deliver something that's really going to meet that need for you. I'm pretty confident it will. Okay. So, and you can give me your feedback afterwards and let me know. Okay. And the other thing is, like I said earlier, those people, you know, if you've lost touch with yourself, if you've been caught in the overwhelm of your personal growth, of your spiritual development, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, it's just been a crazy time. And for those of you that have been in that lost space with all the crazy transitions, then this is absolutely for you. Right, so I'm gonna now share a little bit about me. And before I do this, can I just have your permission? Because I don't want to rant on about me if it's not going to be worthwhile and interesting to you. So maybe can you just put in the chat box if you're up for that? And in a bit, when I've finished doing this, I'm actually going to do a poll, because it's going to help me learn more about who's on this call now, and it'll help me to serve you more. So it's like you find out about me, I find out about you. Is that good? Okay, thank you. Brilliant. Yay. So, of course, my name, Tara Love Perry, and I was born into a spiritual community. I'm going to make this really short. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm going to make this really kind of quick and short. Some of you have heard it before. I was actually, you know, my mum and dad conceived me when they were working in an ashram for an Indian guru. Thank you, Mimi. And this was back in the 70s. And both my parents were very spiritual seekers, and they wanted to serve others, and they wanted to serve the guru, who was known then as Guru Maharaji, who's now known as Prem Rawa. And he's an absolutely incredible teacher and master of inner truth and inner connection. And so I was brought up in this environment. I was even named by the guru's mother, you know, Tara, the goddess of compassion. And so you can imagine that I was a proper little hippie girl. There was always satsang in our house, which is a Sanskrit word, and it means the sharing of truth. And we always had people around our house. And my parents just really, you know, that was their life. They wanted to serve others, wanted to spread this message of love and peace and the message of the guru. And it was a bit confusing for me in a way. It was very beautiful, but in a lot of ways it was a bit confusing, because you know, I was kind of taught by this quite spiritual premise that I don't really exist, that nothing in this world is real, and it's all an illusion, and therefore it doesn't really matter, and that money doesn't matter, and that nothing really matters except love. Now, I still agree with this. Love is the most important thing. But the way that I was taught, and this isn't down to the guru, by the way, this is down to, you know, what they understood at the time, what the understanding was, what the level of consciousness was at that time, because we're always progressing. We're always on that kind of precipice, the cutting edge of conscious awakening. And where we are now, you know, as you can imagine, when I was born, which is quite a while ago, I just had my birthday and turned 45. So 45 years ago, and even less than that, there was, you know, a very different awareness to how there is now. But even to this day, you know, that concept of we are nothing, we don't really exist is throughout spiritual culture. And as a little person growing up, I was just a bit like, well, what the what the hell? If I don't really exist, then what's the point of me being in this body? So I grew up being very not in my body. I was very out there, you know, very connected to spirit, very connected to source and the light, like way out there. And that didn't really serve me in the real life when I grew up and I left home, and I'm in my 20s and I'm in my 30s, and it was hard knocks, school of hard knocks. And I know actually you guys, most of you, if not all of you, are very sensitive people. You're very spiritual, you know, very loving and giving, and actually quite out there and not really in this body. So to cut a long story short, later, years later, in my late 20s, I was validated for these gifts that I'd had all my life and kind of didn't really connect with them and realize what I could do. I knew I was a bit weird and I could see all these things and hear all these things that other people didn't. But it was kind of like a weird, quirky secret thing that I had. And so in my late 20s, I was validated as being highly, highly clairvoyant and intuitive and sensitive and empathic and all these things, which was really cool. And I developed this thing that I call soul reading. So I was soul reading people. It's kind of what it says on the tin. I read people's soul energy. So you might have a tarot reader or a crystal ball reader or an angel card reader, or, you know, somebody who connects with energy or connects with your future, or, you know, who you are. You might have an astrology reader, you might have a palm reader. Well, for me, I could read energy of the soul, which is mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It was like, see, I could basically, when I tune in, I could see all these past lives, and I could see how people were being born, and I could see the reason why people had chosen to be born and incarnate in this lifetime, why they chose their parents, what their true destiny and potential was. And I could also see all this horrific, painful trauma that people had been through their whole lives, and how it's been the story of not just this lifetime, but the story of many, many other lifetimes. And I could see how those threads were working through and affecting them now in their life. And it's like I could see the invisible walls that they were running into, and what they were tripping over, and why they just weren't succeeding, whether it was in their health or their wealth or their family or their love life or whatever, or conceiving children or whatever it was. I could see what was holding this person back. And so I've been doing that now for 15 years. And I've traveled all over the world and seen thousands and thousands of souls. You can imagine, literally reading so many people. And what I realized I could do as well, is that not just read people, because that was a bit rubbish if I could only read them, but I had to come up with something. Well, no, I didn't have to come up with something. I asked for an answer to help people get over their suffering. And I noticed a common thread between every single person that I read, that the common factor and the common solution to absolutely everybody's stuff was this thing called self-love. Because everybody is waiting for somebody else, not consciously, mostly subconsciously or completely unconsciously, where they're just not seeing that this is the reason, but that's the actual real motivating factor, that they're just needing to be loved from usually a particular person, or to have that feeling of love from God, and they're not feeling it. Just like I said in the beginning, you know, it just bounces off the skin. It doesn't go into the mind. This mind does not understand love. So it will filter, it will argue, it will debate, it will have judgments about that. And so people don't feel completely, totally, unconditionally loved. And that is the driving human need, driving human motivation for everything. And when we don't get that need met, and it's not done in the right way, and it's not said in the right way, and it's not, it's not delivered perfectly, then we feel like it's missed us. The arrow hasn't met the target. We feel sad, depressed, angry, volatile, whatever, and we produce conditions. So basically, I then learned direct from spirit, and with a lot of help from the angels, particularly Archangel Michael, I was taught this technique, this 7-step technique, for people that it was like that you could love yourself, like a medicine that you could give yourself and apply to virtually every, I mean, I haven't come across a situation where it doesn't work, to align, to remedy your situation in life. And so that's basically where all of this comes from. And I didn't even realize for myself in my own journey of self-love how important what I was sharing with other people was. I just thought, you know, like you, I'm serving everybody else, I'm wanting to help others. And meanwhile, I've got all this shit going on and I'm having horrible relationships and I'm not making enough money and I'm struggling and I'm suffering. And it was only because I was in this relationship. And this is actually, you know, the best relationship of my life and the worst relationship of my life. And I know some of you will put your hands up and relate to this, that sometimes the one you love the most can be your harshest teacher, can be your strongest mirror. And really, if you're kind of an aware and sensitive person and you reflect on things in yourself, you know, you can actually notice this in your relationships. You know, other people are there as your mirror. They're there to teach you. And this partner of mine, God, man, he was harsh. He was a harsh teacher. And it was because of his harsh reflections of, oh, how my wounding and how, God, sorry for myself I felt, and all this projection I had about him, till I realized, actually, Tara, no, this is about you. And I started to, because I wasn't getting the love from him that I wanted, even though he loved me, I wasn't getting it how I wanted it. And this is what kickstarted a massive awakening for me, that I had to start applying what I'd been teaching, literally traveling around the world, teaching all of these years to other people, and I had to start applying it. So this awful relationship taught me that actually I needed to love myself. And this relationship showed me all those places in my life where I wasn't loving myself and I was expecting someone else to do it for me. So super valuable information. So basically that's where this comes from, guys. And in my own life, you know, I don't have those same problems anymore. It's completely transformed my whole life. You know, my wealth situation changed, my love life changed, just everything changed. I don't know. It's just incredible. So I want to offer you that same possibility. And I'm going to teach you that first step out of 7, and not just teach it to you like a boring teacher. I'm actually just going to guide you into that place right away so that you can have that experience. And this first step is the most vital step. It's the most important step. And it's the bit that most people, if not everybody, tends to miss out on. Okay? So you remember I was telling you about that one biggest spiritual mistake? Well, here goes. The biggest spiritual mistake people make is that they are giving. And all their energy and attention is going out this way, trying to be a good person, being a good person. But actually they're becoming drained and empty, and people don't know how to receive. Not receiving for yourself is a killer, literally. So before I dive into this experience with you, where I'm going to teach you, not teach you, guide you, lead you on a journey for you to receive unconditional love, for you to deeply immerse into that love that you are and all that you are, the human you, the divine you, the mucky you, all of that. I'm going to take you on a beautiful journey. That's going to last about 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes total. And just before I do that, I want to check in and see on you guys. Welcome everybody else that's joined. Thank you for being here. So wonderful. All right, so I'm going to pop up this poll now. Can you all see that on the screen? Let's have a look. There we go. Can you see that now? And the first question, so don't worry about all the other questions, just focus on the top one. What do you currently do for work? And all I want to know is if you are in a job or if you're self-employed or a business owner. Which one is you? So I'm just going to give you like, can you all see that? Yeah, maybe raise your hand or put a yes in the chat box. And then just, you know, what I can't see it from your side, but I know you can check one in a job or self-employed and a business owner. And maybe actually in the chat box, what I'd like you to do is just type in, what's your work? What do you do? And for those of you that are going to be getting the recorded version of this, I'd like you to send me that on an email, because this chat box won't be available to you then. Send it to me on an email. What do you do for a living? Are you in a job, or do you have a business? And what is your business? Because I'm looking to see how many of you are in those jobs or services or businesses where your energy is serving others all day long. There we go. So we've got, wow, so far we have 100% are business owners or self-employed. Wow, that's a really high level. I kind of thought that one would be high. Didn't know it'd be that high. That is awesome. So just put in the chat box, guys, what is your business? What is your work? You know, are you, or you could just put, yes, I serve others, you know, and in what way do you serve others? Can you find the chat box? Michael found the chat box and Mimi found the chat box. Okay. Thank you. So I don't think that's really working. So anyway, thank you guys for sharing that. Can you see the next one? Okay, here we go. It's just taking a little while to load. So a professional dancer, an instructor, you volunteer. Okay, there's a, okay. Beautiful, thank you. There, it's starting to come through now, perfect. Interpreter and a teacher and a reflexologist. That's a lot of serving and giving. And another one, energy healing, coaching women. Okay, yeah, it's these healers, volunteers, okay, people, yeah, instructors, people giving and serving other people. So for you guys, is receiving important? Like, have you thought about that? I know some of you who've worked with me before will have done, but let's just focus on actually right now, in this moment, or in this last week, how much have you been, how much do you actually think about serving yourself? How much do you actually think about receiving for you when your attention is going out and helping others? Okay, gosh, you're answering these questions already. I haven't even asked the next one yet, but you're doing it. That's awesome. So the next question, what prevents or limits you from connecting with yourself authentically every day? What stops you from receiving for you? What stops you giving to you? What limits you from doing that? Is it not enough time of the day? Is it fear of the unknown? I know that's a huge one for people. They just don't want to look inside themselves because they're scared of what they'll see. And therefore they don't do it. It's almost like they fear that there's monsters in their cupboards inside of them or something, or they're secretly this horrible person and they can't face it. So they don't go there. I know that's really common. Never occurred to me that I need to, or I want to, but I don't know how, or not sure. So we've got a split 50-50% right now, not enough time in the day and not sure. Yeah, like why aren't you? See, it's obvious, but it's so obvious. And this is what happens with simple. Sometimes things are so simple, we completely miss the importance and value of it. It's just like drinking water. How many of you drink enough water in the day? You know, it's so simple, this water. It's so valuable. We overlook its importance, you know, we forget about it. Receiving to ourselves and giving to ourselves is the same. So again, if you're watching this on a recording, please put that in an email. I'd like to know what stops you. You know, fear of the unknown, not enough time in the day, never occurred to me that I need to, I want to, but I don't know how, or not sure. The next one, so what's your biggest complaint or unmet need in life? Did you have time to think about that one? Maybe just close your eyes and take a breath for a moment. What bugs you? What's doing your head in lately or right now? What do you need more of? And my suggestions are to be more listened to and understood. That you don't get enough of that. Do you get enough of being seen and recognized for who you truly are? Be honest with yourself. Do you get enough of feeling held and being held and feeling safe? Do you get enough of being empathized with and really met deeply, you know, on that kind of empathic, emotional connection, being really felt by somebody? Do you get enough of that? Is that important to you? What about being validated that it's okay to be you, or more than okay to be you? Like I said, when I was sharing my story, my gift, this special Tara thing that I had no idea I was going to spend the rest of my life doing and helping others. I didn't know that was my special thing or my destiny, was to be a soul reader and then help people. And that one day, you know, years later, it would put me on stages all over, you know, meet these people all over the world, and I'd be teaching self-love. I didn't have a clue, but that validation changed my life. Somebody validated me. I was 29 before it happened. But validation is crucial. Are you getting validated? Because if somebody else isn't validating you and you're waiting for it, that's a problem. For someone to see you and validate you for who you are, that's a problem if that's not happening. Or is it just something else? Okay, so what we've got on here at the moment then is 50%. Oh no, is that right? Yep, 50%. That you definitely need to feel more held and safe. Good. And then something else. Okay, maybe chat in the chat box, put what your something else is, so I understand you. Okay, and then so Mimi saying, I get distracted and need to set time and be more disciplined, i.e. a morning ritual. Okay, good. Well, what I'm going to give you, Mimi, is I'm going to give you the long version. And this is going to be on a recording, so you can listen to it again and again. And I'm going to give you the short version, so you don't need to sit down and be disciplined and have set aside time to do this. I'm going to give you the short, instant, several second version. Okay, how does that sound? Wouldn't that be useful if you could have a deep, authentic connection with yourself and source energy in seconds, and you can do it anywhere at all? Right? Literally, it's that simple. So simple that we miss it, okay? But I'm going to reveal the super simple to you and be your best friend and keep reminding you of that. And I'm going to give you this beautiful, long, deep journey. All right, so how you're feeling now, that's a question for afterwards. So I'm going to just pop that down and bring it back up later, okay? Oh, we also had another professional dancer there. Awesome, thank you for that. So yeah, I just made a note there, backfiring in capital letters, because I wanted to really, you know, what's the word, illustrate or highlight, you know, flag up that the common problem that happens when we are not connecting with ourselves and we're trying to connect with everybody else and give to everybody else and serve others and do good, whilst there are lots of rewards of that, there seems to be one common thing, and I've been hearing about it so much even in this last week from so many different people, that it tends to backfire. You know, you're doing all this loving and giving, and do you get thanks for it? Do they appreciate it? Is it seen? You know, do you think people are going to love you for it? And of course, sometimes that works, but more often than not, it really backfires and smacks you in the face, okay? So that's only because the reason that happens is not because giving is wrong or bad, because it's beautiful and it's a must. You must allow that love to flow. You must give to make a contribution. It's one of your, you know, 6 human needs. However, if it's not equally balanced with receiving, what you're giving is out of whack. It's out of alignment. It's really not in integrity. It's overcompensating for something else, for a lack that you feel inside. It basically means that you're trying to get your needs met by, you know, doing all these other things, these sometimes like taking the long way around to get your needs met by doing all these other things for other people, which of course is beautiful, but there is, unless you are taking care of these needs yourself, those unmet needs have to be met somehow. And it's like the surreptitious little shadow in the background that's working through, that's like an invisible thread in everything you do. Okay, then that's a problem. And that's what causes the backfiring. That's what causes when people get angry with you and dump their shit on you when you've just been trying to help them and love them. Can you relate to what I'm saying? Okay, and for this reason, guys, that what I'm going to share with you now is so important. Like, even though it's simple, I want you to understand the value of this. Okay, great. So Kate's saying she gets supported. So you are, that's brilliant. So you are being supported, but that thing of, you know, I know it's happened to me so many times because I come from that background of wanting to love and serve everybody, and I watched it happen to my parents. I've watched it happen to so many people. I've counseled people on calls this week who are going through the same problems because, you know, that good intention can backfire when we're not having our needs met. Yeah, and it's your, okay, what she said, what Kate was saying is, yes, it's your complaint and unmet need. Absolutely. Mothers, you know, I'm a mother, I totally understand that. We're, you know, one of the world's biggest, you know, subcultures or groups of givers, and yeah, and we overgive. And you know, do your kids love and respect you and treat you well? You know, the little darlings. But at the end of the day, right, this is what you can do about it. Okay, so make sure you've got your headphones in. Another note I've made to myself, because I get so swept away, I forget to do all the details. At the end of this, guys, I'm going to reveal to you as well that the latest thing I've created. And don't worry, I'm not going to do like this hard sell, and I'm not going to get you to spend hundreds of pounds. It really isn't. It's unbelievably, like, mind-smackingly good. It's going to give you incredible, beautiful value in your life, and it's going to take you a deeper place. And it really doesn't cost hardly anything at all. It's such an amazing offer, basically, that I have for you, that you're just going to love it. Okay, and it's going to meet your needs in a really beautiful way. Virtually giving it away. And I'm also going to reveal something that's actually going to help you make money. So by giving to yourself and serving others, you can actually make some money back on it. Does that sound good? Excellent. So I just wanted to sort of preamble you with that, give you a heads up that that's going to happen, not immediately at the end when you're all soft and open and feeling sublime, but you know, shortly afterwards. Okay. So if you stay until the end, I'm going to obviously be able to share that with you. So what I want you to do is make sure your headphones are in, and I want you to make sure you're really, really comfortable. And I'm just going to take a seat back as well, like this. And relax your entire body. Now it's going to take a little bit of time for you to relax your body, so I'm going to support you with that. But just for now, I want you to feel and engage with your hands as well. We're going to use this incredible sense of touch that in our giving and loving and serving others, we use these hands and these arms to extend love to everybody else. We're going to turn that around 180 degrees so that you are giving your beautiful holding hands. You know, 50% of you said you didn't feel held. So now's the chance, okay? Take your loving hands and just acknowledge you have this human physical body, and it has a bunch of needs, and it's a really complicated organism, this thing, and it's sensitive, and it needs to be held, and it needs to be touched. This human body responds to being touched, okay? So I want you to just put your hands to your head. Take a deep breath. And as if your touch could give you permission to relax, you're just going to gently, very gently, with soft fingertips, stroke your head, stroke around your ears. We get so much tension in the back of our ears here and this bit here. So just gently, like, let your head drop a little bit back, not so much that you get a tension. get a bit, you may want to put a cushion or lean against a wall or something where you can just let go. And also this area here, your temples, your cheekbones, here around your jaw, underneath your jaw and in your throat. You carry more tension than you realize, where your focus, where your senses, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your lips, your speaking, it's all going out. Oh, put your hands there like, hello, come back to me. Let it soften, let it relax. And I'd like you to relax this mouth and your jaw so much. And I've seen people do this like this. No, that's still tight. I mean really open your mouth like this. Ah, like when you take a sigh. Let your mouth open. Ah, take the in-breath through the mouth and let the out-breath go out of the mouth. And I have not yet seen anybody encourage people to breathe like this other than myself. And it's for a really, really good reason. And this technique just does not hit the same spot if you don't do this part, okay? So if you're being a bit cautious or a bit rebellious and you just don't feel like it, or it feels weird, I'm just gonna, with so much love, encourage you just to please follow my guidance. You need to come empty in order to have an experience of something. And when you want a change in your life, you need to do something different that you haven't done before so that you get a new result. And this one change here, opening your mouth, I'm seriously telling you, you'll know by the end what I mean and why I've said that, okay? So just trust me for now. Open your mouth and allow the breath to come in. And not like this, like a Darth Vader. And not like the wind trying to knock something over with your breath. You know, I've seen people like this. That's going to hurt you. It's not self-love. Okay? I mean, just open. And you start to, you're probably going to notice right now how tense you are in your throat. And how maybe blocked you are. I'm gonna help you with that, so it's okay. But just for now, just soften. And if you can, see if you can allow yourself in your throat and your face and your head to relax like you did when you were a brand new baby. Totally soft. Totally open. Totally receiving. And I'd like to invite you to see if you can remember what it felt like to be a brand new baby. In that first moment when you were born, your very, very first thing you did in this life, in this human body. Now your mind won't remember, but your cells remember, your body remembers. Very first thing you did was breathe in. You took a breath. You didn't give a breath. You received a breath. And you received that breath as unconditionally as it was given when you were born. At least you tried to. Some of you would have had breathing difficulties and birth difficulties. But you were clear, you were a clean slate, and you trusted life. And you would have breathed in that breath like it was the most crucial thing in your entire existence, which of course it was. Because unless you receive that breath, you don't exist. You don't have a life. You don't have friends. You don't have lovers. You don't have children and mums and dads and jobs and purposes. And you've got nothing to give if you're not breathing. If you are not receiving. And the problem is that people receive so very, very little of their breath that the mind suffers. You go into panic. Your body suffers. You don't have enough oxygen. The alarms will go on, the anxiety will rise up. You will have so many different kinds of problems, as well as all those other problems about not feeling given to, not getting enough in life, not receiving enough in your life. Because basically, if you are not receiving your breath, if you're not receiving life itself, you're not going to receive everything else that comes with it that life has to bring you. Does that make sense? And you don't have to work this out right now. I want you to just breathe it in. Breathe in what I'm saying. Breathe in my words. And more importantly, breathe in your own source of life, this breath, this energy, this substance that is so, it's actually a physical substance. It's not as invisible and as ethereal as we think, this breath, because you can feel it gently rippling across your tongue. You can feel it. A little bit of it might waft up into the mind like a beautiful fresh breath. Even though the mind has no lungs, you're actually energizing and oxygenating your brain. Oh, can you feel that? Like a beautiful breeze into that control tower where we live most of the time. Completely let yourself receive that breath. Soften the throat. And then feel how that breath, you can literally tangibly feel it trickling down your throat. And it has like a weight to it because it's not just hanging there, wafting around. It's actually got an agenda. It has a weight to it. Your breath has a direction. So I want you to really soften and feel. See if you can notice the direction of your breath. Where is it headed to inside of you? Where is it trying to get to? Now allow that softening to ripple across your collarbones, your shoulders, the upper chest, the heart. Oh, feel your spine softening all the way down to your tummy area. Feel your hips softening and your belly so soft like a little baby. So that when you breathe in, your belly goes up. You expand like a little baby does. But make no effort whatsoever to do that. Let it come completely naturally so that you are not having to do anything. And it's so soft, this beautiful, soft, silky caress that comes in the mouth, across the tongue, fills the space. It strokes you into softness. It strokes you into gently receiving this breath of life, like a kiss, meeting your lips to kiss you into life and stroke you into existence, caressing you open so that you trust, so that you're safe. You're completely safe to receive. Breathe that in. Take that in. Every now and again I'll say breathe that in, and it's like, yeah, really remember, wake up. Receive an in-breath. Breathe that medicine in of those words that I'm saying. This is good practice for what's coming in a minute. Let them just sink in. Let those words have a weight to them as well, because they also know exactly where to go inside of you to meet that part of you that needs to know this, that needs to just simply be reminded of what you already know. Okay, I love you. Please receive my words unconditionally. Please receive your breath unconditionally as it's given. And now sinking in all the way down to your hips and your bottom, your coccyx, let it go. Notice if you've got tension in your buttocks. Let the breath come in all the way down. All the way down to where your pubic area is, to that pelvic cradle of your hips and your coccyx. And let the weight of your dense, heavy physical body drop into your legs, all the way down to your feet. You can even put your hands there, like use these hands to connect with you all the way down. Helping you to surrender, helping you to soften. And remember, you are being breathed. You are not having to do this life. Life is actually doing you. Thank God. Thank the Lord. Thank the Goddess. Thank life. Thank this breath. Thank the thing that is causing you to breathe right now. That's something bigger than you. Something more powerful than you. Something kind. Something unconditionally giving. That's its only agenda is to give to you. And actually then release what you no longer need. Something like this is here for you constantly. This breath is here giving to you now and has been giving to you since the very first moment you came into this body and you breathed in spirit of life. You breathed in living spirit of life itself, that without this, you would be a little pile of dust right now. You would be dirt. You would be not glued together as you are now in form. Just notice that. Keep sipping. And if you need to close your mouth and gently swallow or have a sip of water, let yourself do that. This is a kind, loving practice. Don't suffer. Drink it down like you can swallow the understanding and let it sink in. And open again to receive, like that buttercup in the field or like that sunflower whose gaze is constantly focused on the sun. Let yourself, let your awareness, let your senses be totally focused on this spirit of life that is being poured into this vessel of your physical human body every single moment of every single bit of your life. And it hasn't let you down. And it won't ever let you down. It is there for you from the beginning to the end. It's there for you in every single thing in between birth and death. It shows up for you 100% no matter how good you are or how bad you are. If you're right or if you're wrong. If you're evil or if you're an angel, this breath loves you unconditionally. You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to pray. You don't have to say please. Just receive this unconditional, loving force. Notice how it feels. And we're going to go on a little bit of a journey with this in a moment. A real deep dive into you. But we're going to use this breath, so I want you to have that beautiful time to practice feeling and breathing and receiving. Because this breath is your lifeline. You might notice that when it's gone and there's no more life. When it's here it is. It's giving to you. It's delivering to you, no one else. It's just right here for you, delivering your life into this human body so that you exist, so that you're conscious right now. It's your lifeline. Hold on to it with both hands. I want you to bring your hands to any part of your body right now that's feeling this beautiful lifeline inside. How deep can you allow it to go inside of you? Your breath wants to go deeper and deeper It wants to penetrate every single part of you with unconditional love. Your breath wouldn't leave a single part of you out. It's only you that does. Where you cut it off without realizing. Just because you're not realizing. But right now, relax so much, you might want to really lie back and stay awake and allow this breath to really pour into you. How much can you receive? All the way down to the very bottom of you. As if every little atom of your body, every cell is opening like that buttercup in the field when the sun shines, to receive this light, to receive this penetrating, unconditional love of spirit, your living spirit that makes you alive, is kissing you all the way down to the bottom of you and into every single cell of your body. Your spirit meeting your body, your physical atoms, kissing them into life and then holding them together with this invisible glue so that you are in a human form. You have a body to move around and experience who you are. Wow. Let your entire body, can you let the parts of your body that are not used to receiving to open up and receive? It's like bathing in spirit. Bathing in life. You don't need a belief or a religion or a philosophy to do this. And you can have every philosophy and religion and belief you like, and it still works. It's unconditional. That's what unconditional means. No matter what. And I'd like you to notice your body right now, that actually your body, this material matter, is also giving to you unconditionally. That your body, despite everything you put it through, all the thoughts, all the feelings that you fill this body with, take a deep breath. Your body is there for you 100% every single day, doing its absolute best for you to be there. This body, this matter, this earthly stuff that will one day go back to the earth, is also unconditional love. Physical. Third dimension for those of you that like dimensions. Third dimension, unconditional love, right there. It is possible to have love this dense, this deep, this human, that is unconditional. Because that's what your body's doing every single day. Breathe that in. Notice your body. Become aware and remember. So what I'd like you to do right now is out loud, in the way that I'm speaking to you so that you can hear me, I would like you to speak to you so that you can hear you. Nobody else matters right now. Only your ears, your need to receive some beautiful words, these key phrases I was telling you about, that's going to deliver medicine for you. So powerful. Okay? So just trust me, say it out loud. And if you have another language to English, and you have another language that's your first language, please use your very first language that you were, taught as a child. Do a rough translation, okay? And say this out loud. Take a breath. Breathe it all the way in, down to your bottom. Relax and receive. And with your arms or your hands connecting to you, say, hello me. And then breathe the words back in. Otherwise, they're going to hang in the air like this weird, like a smell hangs in the air and nobody owns up to. Breathe those words back in. Where in you needs to hear that? Hello, me. Oh, that's a bit funny, isn't it? Mind doesn't know what to do with that. What, me? Who's me? Who are you talking to? It doesn't matter. Get over it. Let it in. Pour. Let the words pour in, filling up this vessel of yours, going to where they need to go. Hello, me. And then put your arms around you and say, thank you, me, for being here. Thank you, me, for being here right now. Say this out loud. Thank you, me, for being here right now. Copy me exactly. Breathe. Feel. Thank you, me, for being here in this body right now. Breathe it in, drink it in, let it go all the way down and swallow it down. Thank you, me, for being here in this life. In this life. Right now. And for some of you, you might want to add onto that, despite everything. Despite everything you've been through. Thank you for being here. Me. And then say, well done. Well done, me. You might want to stroke your own head, give yourself a pat on the head or a pat on the back, or just take it into your heart, take it into your tummy. Let those words sink in. Every single part of you that's been waiting for a well done for God knows how long. Well done, me. And what's happening is you're seeing yourself inside now. You're seeing the parts of you that really respond to hello, me. You're feeling the parts that when you said thank you, you go, oh, how delicious. You're hearing the parts of you that are saying, God, I needed a well done. I needed to hear that well done. Despite what your mind is telling you. Your mind's going to run a different story because your mind will not understand unconditional love. It won't understand what we're doing, and it's totally fine. We're going to include your mind in just a sec because every single aspect of you needs to be included. Otherwise, you're not whole, you're fragmented. You're scattered in all directions, trying to come home and trying to find out who you are. And let's finish with this one. Take another deep breath. Take a sip of life, a sip of your beautiful spirit, your absolutely divine spirit, into this gorgeous human body. And say, I love you, me, out loud. Oh, see if you can let that one open you a little bit more. Expand the body on the inside. Drink it in. Really. Sometimes we have to be like a little kid going, let it in. I love you, me. I love you, me. And trust me, don't do it with the mouth closed. It will stay here if you do that. It won't penetrate if you keep your mouth closed. Okay, you have to let the words tumble inside of you on that waterfall of your breath. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Now I'd like you to focus now. Bring a fingertip or a few fingertips to your forehead. Let's notice the little you in your head, the one that would argue or justify or question or wonder. What's happening? The one that has something to say, that's running the commentary about everything we're doing. That one. I'd like you to just acknowledge it, put your hands on it, connect with it, touch it. Hello, and say this out loud with me. Hello, little me in my head. Hello, little me that's always talking and always thinking, always got an idea, always got a plan, always got a judgment. Don't always just say that. Okay? Hello, little me in my head. And let's add a few more words now, right? You've got those key phrases. We're going to say some more words. Let's say, I see you, little me in my head. I see you. I see you there busy all day long, worrying, piecing everything together. You know, say whatever is relevant to you. I see you, little me up here. It's always trying to fix everything. That's trying to get everything right. Full of questions, full of doubts, whatever you are, you know, whatever that headspace is. Hello, I see you. And say, I hear you. I hear you all day long, and I hear you now. Let's say to this little you in your head, I love you, little me in my head. I love you. Thank you for trying so hard. Thank you for trying to help me so much. Thank you for always being busy, trying to help me out. I love you. Well done. Say that. I love you. Well done. Take a deep breath. Allow the breath to come up into that head space. It's a space, this mind that you live in all the time. It's probably quite tense there in the back. Right? You're not going to do anything with that. You're just going to let the breath in and notice that little you, and invite that little you to hop now on a cushion. Pull up a big, beautiful golden cushion right in the middle of your head. And let that little you sit back on that huge big cushion so it's bigger than you. That huffing and puffing, by the way, in the background is my lovely dog Gracie, and she wants me to take her for a walk. You're just going to have to wait. Sit down. Well done, little me. Sit them on the cushion. Thank you. Say thank you to them. I love you. And now we're going to go on a journey on this cushion. So all you need to do is stay back on that cushion. We're going to do this in about 10 minutes. We're going to go on this little journey inside of you, give you a little deep dive and dipping into you, an immersion. So you've now got the hang of this breathing, right? So you can feel the breath rising. Here it comes, and then out it goes. And something rises and falls on this breath. Rises and falls. So we're going to use this breath as the vehicle. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to lie back on that cushion and keep your big eyes open, your big eyes of the child, like in wonder, to notice everything. That's all you need to do. Don't have to fix or mend or think or judge. And I want you to notice how this breath comes up and it lifts you on that cushion like a wave, gently lifts you on a boat and just ripples underneath you and then sinks down. And you're going to sink down behind this face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Notice what it looks like as you shift position. What does it look like behind your face, behind your nose and your eyes and your mouth? Let it sink down. A lot of energy going out right there. Probably a lot of tension. I want you to just say, I love you, to all of those senses in the back there. I love you, senses of me. And allow the breath to pick you up like a wave. And it drops you so sweetly down into your throat center. It's as if you're just following the breath now, and it's this direct pull all the way down through the center of you. That's the way that your breath goes. So you're going to let your breath take you there, effortlessly, surrendering your shoulder blades, your throat even more, right into the back. Oh, as you gape open, you're catching flies. Let every little tube in your throat soften so that you can receive more from your life. Yep, and see if you can also release what's no longer serving you by letting your breath do it. Just soften. Let this wave of your breath come in and wash around your throat area. And if you relax enough and your body opens and your cells open, you can actually cleanse the memories of your cells, your cellular memory, just by breathing and allowing your breath to come into every closed little tight space where you've not allowed, and even up into your jaw here, up into your glands, up into your jaw even, right into the back, all the way down here to the thyroid area, this whole throat space. You can use your beautiful fingertips to acknowledge, here you are in your throat. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Have you got tension and stress or blocked emotions, unspoken words, anger? All kinds of stuff gets stuck here. It's like a bottleneck, and a lot of stuff gets clogged in this area, blocking your passageway of your spirit coming into your body, blocking you from receiving, and also releasing emotionally what you no longer need, for cleansing out what's got stuck in this heavier body of your being. Soften and say, hello me in my throat. Hello little me there in my throat. Hello throat. Because you exist here too. You'd forgotten that. You thought you only existed in your mind, but no, you exist here in your throat. So hello me in my throat. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Say it out loud. Thank you, me, for doing so well, for trying so hard. Oh, that might bring up tears. And if it does, just let it come. Thank you, me. Well done, me. You're being unconditional now. You're not judging what's good and bad. You're breathing everything. You're breathing the sweet and the sour and the bitter. Just let the breath do it for you, sweetheart. Let the breath come in. Bless everything. I love you. I love you, me in my throat. How sweet is that medicine? I love you, me. Let the breath pick you up now. I'm going to go down to the next level. Just keep flowing, okay? Don't get stuck anywhere. We're just going to trust the breath. Pick you up. Drop you down into your heart center so that you really land here. Boom. Connect with your hands. Here you are. Can you see your hand with your hands inside of you? This is what I do. I can use my hands like that goddess with eyes in the palm, and I literally see inside your body or my body or anything, to be fair. And you can do the same thing. Me and you are the same. You can see with your hands. You can see what you look like inside. You can hold this little you in this big, amazing heart space that is both very finite, very contained and human in this body. And it's also infinite. It's both. Sometimes we have a hard job managing both the finite and the infinite all in the same space at the same time. It's just too much. We can't get our heads around it. And the solution to that is leave your head behind, drop down on your cushion, let your breath take you in. Your breath knows how to be in the heart. Your breath knows about love. And that little you on the cushion, the innocent you, wide-eyed, wondering, feeling you know about love. You know about your heart. What does it look like in here, in your room of your heart? What does it feel like when you breathe in and let it expand and open, and you let the breath go into all of those little nooks and crannies, right to the back? How does it feel? And if you need to do that, let it out. Let the sound out. Let the relief come. You need relief. You need to let go so that you can be here. You need to empty out what is not meant to be in this space so that you can have space for you. And I'd like you to say, hello, me in my heart. Hello, heart of me. Savor. Can you hear? Can you feel your response? Direct heart response. Can you feel it? Are you received into your own heart? Yes or no? Are you welcome in your own heart? Yes or no? And I'd like you to say out loud, thank you, heart. Thank you for just being you. Lie down. Thank you, me in my heart, for being here right now. Thank you for breathing everything in. Let it sink in. Let the thank yous really sink into the places that other people's thank yous don't get to. Only you can fill this space. Notice how vital your own words are. That it can hit a spot that nothing else reaches. Thank you, me. Swallow it down. Let it sink in. Savor it. You can almost taste it in your mouth. Smell the fragrance of this feeling. How does it feel in your hands? What are you holding right now? What are you connected to? What is you? What is you? Say, I love you, me in my heart. Say it out loud. I love you, me in my heart. I love you, heart of me. I love you, heart. I love you, I love you. Breathe it in. It doesn't go in unless you breathe it in. It stays outside unless you choose to receive it by breathing in. That's the key. That's the key to everything. Thank you, I love you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for receiving me. Say that out loud. Thank you for receiving me. Gosh, did you need it? I can really feel all of your hearts right now. Gosh, did you need that so much? I really love you. I really feel you. It's like being starving and not realizing that you're starving. And you put all this other stuff in and you're still starving. You don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, you might just want to say, I need your love, me. I need your love, me. Right, and let's take our breath. And we're going to quickly go down to the next level because time is ticking by and I don't want to keep you here all night. But would you be willing? This is a very important question. Would you be willing, beloved, to go down to the next level? To trust a little bit deeper? To discover yourself a little bit deeper beyond your heart? What else are you? Let this breath pick you up right now. Lift you on that little cushion. And drop you like an invisible elevator down through your solar plexus area, your diaphragm. And keep breathing. And keep noticing what it looks like. If you're in an invisible elevator of your spirit that's descending down inside the center of your body, what can you see? What can you see and feel and taste and touch and smell as you drop deeper on the next breath? Down into the stomach. Let it pick you up again and drop you down into your tummy, into the soft belly area below your belly button. Dropping you deep down into that soft cradle of your pelvic area. And put your hands to your soft belly and allow it to expand as your breath comes in. Allow it to be like the basin of a waterfall where the breath tumbles freely all the way down. And there it meets you right in this beautiful cradle of your hip bones and your tummy. Let go. You might get a real deep voice when you let go on that one. It's a bass. Let yourself do that. Some of you might be falling asleep at this point, but stay awake. Not many people can deep dive and stay conscious, so it's a good practice. What can you feel? Is it dark? Or is there light? What is this space full of, this beautiful belly? And I can tell you now, in my experience, this space is full of loads and loads of feelings that have not properly ever been met. There's pockets of memories, like time capsules of memories of your childhood, of you being in the womb, of what it was like when your mother was growing you in her tummy, of your father at that time. You have past life memories here. You have loads of other people's emotions and stuff that you've received, that people have dumped on you, that have got stuck deep down here and kind of sunk into like a silt in the bottom of the river and not ever been properly dealt with. The painful words, the painful actions that you didn't know how to let go of at the time, that you didn't know how to consciously release at the time, or maybe you tried and you did your best, but it didn't properly work. And all of those memories get stuck at this emotional body of your belly. The thoughts that you've had about yourself that are negative, that beat you up, that pull you down and make you sad and depress you and make you feel unworthy and shitty and like you're dark and nasty. All of those thoughts sink like a lead weight into this soft, beautiful, watery belly space. Just notice how that feels for you. No wonder you don't breathe down here very much. No wonder you don't venture here very often. That's why there's not much space for you. And here's where we need to make space for you, because you need to be in your body. No one else. You don't want to have room for anybody else's stuff to be in your body. This is your space and yours alone. Breathe that. Breathe that in. Let the breath come in all its truth, in all its power, in all its service of you, and sweep like a beautiful wave into every corner of this cave-like space of your belly, and that inner child and those painful memories. And this is why your throat needs to be soft, so it can flow out like a chimney, not getting stuck to anything, not being swallowed back and controlled, you know, like this, with your jaw tight, like, and if you need to say something out loud, say it out loud. You're just going to allow the releasing, and again, the receiving, so that this body expands open. You might go a little bit dizzy if you're not used to this. Just take care. Don't breathe too much that you're going to start passing out. Please don't do that. Gently, ever so gently, let it come in. It only needs to be a little bit. We don't need to gasp for breath. Okay, you're alive, you're being breathed, you're safe, everything's okay. You're just going to let the breath trickle in, and you're going to feel it and receive it. And I'd like you to say, hello, little me, in my belly. Breathe into all these feelings. Breathe in. Hello, little me, in my tummy. And say thank you for being here right now. Thank you for being so brave. Thank you for surrendering this deeply. Thank you, me. Say it out loud to yourself. And don't forget to breathe it in and receive the words so that they trickle down. Sometimes it takes a little time. And you say that and you swallow. Yeah, take it in. Thank you, me. And say, I love you, me. I love you, me. In my tummy. Use your hands on your belly. I love you, me, in my tummy. I love you. Do you feel safe right now? Because you're there with you. You're not abandoning you. You are fully showing up like you have never showed up before. And your breath is right there. Your lifeline is there. Your body is holding you. This beautiful earth mother matter of your physicalness is right here, not abandoning you. Do you feel safe? I love you. Oh, that's so good, right? So good. And now finally, the last step, drop right deep down into the heaviest part of you. Down. Let your breath take you there. All the way down to your bottom, your sitting place. Boom. Sometimes it's like a real landing. Sometimes it feels really metallic and like lead or like iron or just like the earth. Very soft but heavy and deep and dark. Such a deep, 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 deep place. Just let yourself go until maybe you're bottomless actually. Maybe it's a bottomless energy where you keep dropping down. Stay awake. Here's your breath coming right now. Take that lifeline and let that breath in to where you are right now, however deep you are. Stay awake. I know it's hard, right? If you're not used to practicing this, you will be out like a light already, and you come back and listen to this again. And to keep yourself awake, say hello me, and put your hands right the way down there, like just holding yourself in your base center. And this deep place of your physical human form, the density that you are. Hello, dense physical me. Say that out loud. Get off, Gracie. Hello, dense physical me. Hello, me in this human body. Hello, me. Hello, physical me. Hello, body of me. Say all of this. Hello, body of me. And use your hands and say, thank you, body, for being here right now. Right now, your body is here. Right now. Thank you, body. And you can repeat it all you like, but it won't go in until you breathe and receive and take it in all the way down to this place. If your words are hovering here in your throat or in your heart, this part won't get the message. Breathe it in all the way down. Feel it like that dropping in. Bomb, like a love bomb. Breathe and feel. I see you, me. I hear you. I feel you in this human body. And say, thank you, me, for being here. I love you, body of me. I love you, human me. I love you, physical body of me. I love you, me, in this body. I love you, me, that's sitting here, breathing and feeling right now. I love you, me, that's noticing and witnessing and showing up right now to all that I am. I love you, me. I love you, me, all that I am. Make sure you say that out loud. And give yourself a huge big hug and say, well done, me. Squeeze your legs, rub your tummy, rub your heart, stroke your head, everything. Oh, well done, me. Now, if that feels a little bit self-indulgent, then good. Absolutely. My goodness, can you feel how much you need that touch? Can you feel? Is it even getting in? Well done, you. Thank you for doing that journey. Thank you for trusting me and being guided and being so open. And thank you for choosing to deep dive into your beautiful self. And let me tell you, that is the long version. And if you want to practice it again, all you have to do is, I'm going to be sending you the recording of this. And for those of you that are watching on a recording, you've already got it. You can listen again and again. And the short version for busy people who think they don't have time to have a 20-minute internal bath of love can just do it like this. Ready? Ready? Who wants to know the short version? And then I'm going to tell you about this awesome thing I've created for you that's going to just blow your mind. It gets better and better. It just literally does. Okay, tell me in the chat box if you want to know the short version. If you are too busy to do a 20-minute version, I won't tell you off. Oh, Sue's joined, and Saf. Hello, beautifuls. Gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Kathy and Grace and Lisa and Joan and Michael and Cassandra and gosh, loads of you. Great. Thank you so much for joining. Kathy's giving me a heart. Yeah, you want to know the short version. Okay, here it goes. Ready? It looks like this. It's going to be so quick you might miss it. It goes like this. Oh, hello, me. Thank you for being here in this body. Well done, me. I love you. I love you, me. There you go. That took about 5 seconds. You want to practice that again now? Do it right now. It can be like a hug. It can be your hands. It can be whatever feels right to you, wherever you need to show up to in yourself right now. If you've got a headache, hello, me. If you've got heartache, hello, me. You got bellyache, hello, me. You just need something and you don't know what, just stop. Breathe. Receive. Feel. You've got to be conscious to do this. You've got to want to love yourself in this moment. You've got to want to receive. You have to actually choose, like a lightning speed. Okay, I'm going to just drop my shit, whatever I'm thinking right now, whatever I think is more important than me. Whatever I think is more important than being alive, whatever I think is more important than loving myself right now, and I've let it get the better of me, and it's this burden on my back and this heavy weight on my shoulders, you're going to choose in that moment to just stop, and you're just going to say, hello me, and you're going to receive that breath. And you're going to notice that that breath is loving you, giving to you, inviting you to open up and have a new experience, inviting you to receive more of what life actually wants to give you instead of more of what you don't want, that you keep getting more of until you actually drop in and get conscious. Did you follow that? Okay, press stop, rewind, play it again. Hello me, breathe. Thank you me for being here. Thank you breath. Thank you body. Thank you me. That is everything, the breath and the body. It's all you. The spirit and this physical existence, it's all you. It's all you. Thank you me. I love you me. I love you. It's like that unconditional. I love you all that I am right now. And it'll literally take you somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds, and you can do that anywhere. And I recommend you say it out loud. If you say it in your head, it's not the same. I recommend you do it with an open mouth, like a, literally, I've tried this. I think I'm smart, and I've done this so many times. I can do a shortcut and I can breathe through my nose and say it in my head, and it doesn't work. It doesn't have the same effect. It's like you're shortchanging yourself if you don't give yourself the real deal, okay? So don't bullshit yourself. Just do it. Do the real thing. Be vulnerable. Be open. Soften and trust. And hello me, okay? So because I know how hard it is for you guys, oh, actually, you know what I was going to do back? The poll. Do you remember the poll? I might have lost it, actually. Did I? No, there it is. I want to know how you guys are feeling. How are you feeling now? That question number 4. You might just want to give me a thumbs up. You might be like, what happened there? But what I'd like to do is put your answer on this poll. Do you feel a really strong sense of instant connection with your me? And what it says is source energy or universe. Do you feel, Kathy's given me thumbs up. Did you feel a connection, but it was a bit difficult and you need more practice? There's a whole bunch of you saying that one. Did you feel that it was hard to get connected, awkward, and it really didn't work very well for you because you're not used to doing it? Or did it feel like you got no connection at all, totally numb and switched off, and just like, obviously you haven't actually switched off, and it did work for you because every single person that registered and was signed into this webinar is still here. So you're all still here. Something worked, right? And so it is amazing and intense is what Andrea is saying. Yeah, it is intense, but it's so simple. All you're doing is meeting you. You know, when we meet somebody else, we do the same thing. We say hello. We'll say thank you for meeting me. Thanks for being here in this, wherever we are. And I love you if you love that person. And you'll breathe with them and you'll empathize with them. You'll touch them. You'll do everything else that we just did every single day, constantly. You just never did it for yourself before. You see other people, you acknowledge them and recognize them, you hear them, you empathize, you just never did it for you before. And so that's why it feels intense, but wow, right? Groundbreaking stuff. It's, you know, that's why I say it's the missing piece to spirituality, because we've missed ourselves out of the picture and we think we're not important and we don't matter and that we're an illusion. And, you know, it's enough to make you literally sick, physically ill, physically, mentally insane, looking for the thing that you can't find, which is right in front of you. It will literally drive you nuts. And I've seen this too many times to mention, okay? So don't do that anymore. So yeah, 60% are saying you really felt a strong instant connection, and 40% are saying I felt connection, but it was a bit difficult and you need more practice. Awesome. That's what I predicted you would say. Because that's the results across the chart. I have not once ever had somebody who didn't feel anything in doing this. It's literally life-changing. And that's going to catch up with you. When you do it, you're going to go, whoa, you're going to realize what that's all about and what that can change for you. So if you're watching this on a recording, send me your results. Okay, email me, let me know how that worked for you and how you're feeling. So I know that, you know, those of you that are therapists, teachers, you guide others, you help others, which is pretty much all of you, if not all of you, you know that it's easier to show up for somebody else than it is for yourself, right? And I know we've gone over time, so I'm just going to take 5 minutes to tell you something, because I know you're not going to do this for yourself. You're going to maybe do it tomorrow if you remember when you wake up. You might remember in a few weeks. Chances are you're going to totally forget about this, even though all of you had a really powerful experience right now. And you know how valuable this is to you. If you could just take a moment and just realize, if you unconditionally loved every single part of you, and if you actually very selfishly, but enlightened selfish, they don't tell you this, it's enlightened to put yourself first, to make your need for love more important than anything else, so that you become the love that you are and the love that you need. And you loved yourself unconditionally. How do you think that would benefit your life? Just take a little moment to wonder about that. How would it benefit you before you even think about anybody else? You probably can't even imagine, because it's so off the charts, strange to think about that. I know that you can imagine how much it would benefit your partner or your lover if you love them unconditionally. You know what it would do for them. Mothers and fathers, you know what it would do for your children if you could love them absolutely unconditionally. And I'm sure you do, because that's, you know, most of us anyway. Some people are not that loving to their children, but you know, you'd do anything for your children. You would bend over backwards. You love them unconditionally, even when they're horrible. But how do you treat yourself? You don't give that same love to yourself. So you are such, I hate to say it, but you're a hypocrite. And I'm a hypocrite, and everyone's a hypocrite, because we want to love everybody unconditionally, but we're not. We're bullshitting. We're not loving ourselves. And if we're not really loving ourselves, then who are we? What's our game? What's our agenda? You know, what are we playing at? If we're not including ourselves, there's some sneaky shadow agenda going on there that I know you're not aware of. And it's not, I'm not saying that to be mean or to freak you out. It's just the truth. And the problem is that shadow will get the better of us, and things will backfire in our face. And, you know, that shadow is all of the parts of you that haven't been loved, by the way. That's all a shadow is somewhere the light hasn't been shone, that you haven't included and welcomed into your life and said, I love you unconditionally. It's okay for you to be here. And the moment you do that, it's no longer shadow. It's no longer dark. It's no longer horrible. It's no longer needy. It's no longer desperate and hungry and starving and nagging you and bullying you. You know, you're no longer going to beat yourself up. How would that be? Because you're taking this part of you and you're unconditionally loving it. You know, what if you could take those conditions that you've inherited from your parents, the bits that you hate about yourself, and maybe you're no good at money, or you're no good at relationships, or you're no good at business, or you're no good at communicating, and you're like your dad or you're like your mom in that you're always doing this, or you're always feeling guilty or whatever. I know every single one of us is like that. And what if you could love every single part of that part of you? You just dissolve it. You're dissolving your pain with unconditional love. And I know that, like you can go out there and help other people, and you're not going to do this for yourself unless somebody helps you. The helpers need a helper. The givers need a giver that they trust enough to let that giver in, so that you can be given to, because you givers, you don't let other people give to you so well. You know best. You block it off. You're protected. You've got so many layers of protection. And this is me too, right? I'm a giver. I have to go to other givers, and thankfully I have beautiful givers in my life, and I surrender into their arms because I trust them. And I need that, because even though I can help loads of other people and I can literally see everybody else's stuff, I need someone to help me with mine. I need someone to take me into my shadow. I need to have somebody guide me by the hand with that love, like a little kid, into the depths and the darkness of the places I'm too scared to go to, or I can't, or I can't see it clearly, you know. We all have that. And people come to me on a one-to-one for this. And, you know, my regular fee for just a 2-hour soul reading is £1,000. And so I know that's, for some people, that's a lot of money. For the people that have invested, it's not a lot of money at all. But I know that you might go, gosh, that's loads. So you can see that actually I believe in giving you value. I totally believe that, you know, you're not all going to come to me for that and pay £1,000 to have that soul reading. So if you didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to help you. So I set these other things up for people who can't pay that money, but I still get the benefit because I'm not being sacrificial, and you get the benefit. Now, how would you like, hold on, let me find my, yes, there it is. Can you all see that link? Can you just put your hand up or say yes? If you can see that link, it should have come up in your chat box, because I've created a weekend, a whole self-love immersion weekend, so that I can spend time with you and you can spend time with me and you can spend time with each other, all in this lovely little hottie pot, as my kids used to call it when they were little, a little hottie pot of love, and we're all snuggled up. Well, not literally, you don't have to physically touch anybody if you don't want to. It's not Osho Leela. Yeah, which is beautiful. You can, of course, snuggle up and cuddle each other, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hugging and a lot of tears and a lot of relief and a lot of sharing, because that's what tends to happen at my events. And by the end of 2 days, everybody feels like they've just gone on this immense journey with each other, and everybody's in love with everybody else, and it's really, really beautiful. But really, you're going to really fall in love with yourself. And just click on that link right now, because you might be thinking, oh, Tara, you know, you might think I'm going to charge a lot of money. It's going to totally blow your mind when you actually see the cost of that event. So I want you to click on it now. You're going to be like, what? Why is she doing this? Why am I doing that? I'm doing it to get your bum on the seat. That's why I'm doing it at the, oh, can you not see the link? It says, where is the link, lovely? Can anybody see that link? You should be able to see it. Okay, I'm going to put it in again. And if you literally can't see it, I'm going to email it all to you after this event. Now is the best time, because then you can see. Link's not worked, isn't that typical? Isn't it typical? I'm going to email it all to you anyway, like straight after this, because I want you to go and have a look at what I've created for you. It's taken me some time. I love creating. I love putting events together. I love hanging out with you all. I love doing self-love. I love it. And I love it for me and you. And I was thinking a few days ago, even if I was the wealthiest person on earth, I would get twitchy and I would have to start going out and doing this again. So we're just going to have a great big love in, a great big self-love. I love you too. Thank you. A big self-love immersion. Guys, you can afford this. You can easily afford this. You can afford to bring your entire family if you wanted to pay for them, because they're too stubborn to pay for themselves. And actually what happens is, the way, you remember I said that you can actually earn money, because I've done this, been doing this a little while now, and what I realize is I could spend a fortune, literally a fortune, on people who say that they will do my advertising and they will create all these, you know, the funnels and everything that I've done, that sales page and the button and the info page and the emails, and I've paid an absolute fortune to guys to do this for me. And I've learned two things. One, it never gets done right, and two, it's not worth the money. It's too expensive. So what I would rather do is pay you to share the love, because that's the way it really works. Like, it's old school. It's word of mouth is how things work. You know, your story your experience is more valuable than any flashy Facebook ad that somebody else could put together for me and spend thousands of pounds promoting everywhere to the wrong people mostly. You know, your word of, hey, I had this experience with Tara, and what I've showed you tonight, by the way, is the tip of the iceberg. It is step 1. It is literally step 1 of 7. Now the other 6, if you thought the first one was good, the other 6 are going to blow you away. It is, and not only is it going to be for you, right? This is maybe where I can catch you on this one, is because when you do this for you, you can also do it for other people. My dog is licking my slippers. Stop it. Get out, Gracie. Stop it. It tickles. When you do this for you, because you put yourself first, you become a full cup. You are going to learn a skill on this weekend. So if you have those CPD points that you get for being a practitioner or something, the therapist, you can get CPD points reclaimed on this event. It's going to be a 16-hour event. So you're going to also come away with tools, the most incredible tool that you can show to somebody else, that you can use with your friends, your family, your beloved, anybody you like. And I'm going to share with you as well on this event, not only take you on the journey, teach you something you can share with others, I'm going to be telling you how you can work with me more. And if you really want to be like, not be like me, but be like me in that I am one of these people that just wants to put more love into this world no matter what. You know, it's like, it's do or die. Personally, I need there to be more love in this world. And I need to be the one that shows up and does that because I believe in it. And I know that I'm not alone. I know that you guys, really, if this world had more love in it, isn't that what we want for our kids and our grandkids? Isn't that what we want to leave as a legacy for this place to be, you know, this world to be a better place? And so if you believe in that, then you've got to start with you first, and it's the hardest place. So get your bum on that seat. Make sure you are there. And allow me to take you to places that you really need to go. And even if you've been to one of my events before, come again, because they're always different. I honestly don't plan what I'm going to speak. I wouldn't script 16 hours of talk. I just kind of, you could say I channel it if you believe in that. I just go with the flow. I just speak from my heart, and whatever's in the room at that time that needs to be dealt with and met and catered for, I kind of cater individually for people that are in that room. And so there's no excuses, really. There's no excuses. Come and have a beautiful weekend with me in Brighton. It's such a gorgeous part of the country, and the venue is right on the seafront. It's incredible. So I want you to be there. We've got chandeliers. It's going to be beautiful for you, I promise. And I want you to invite your friends. That's what I was busy telling you, because you will actually get 50% of their ticket price back in your pocket. I will literally go, there's a 4-step process, and I will put money in your bank account. So you can make your ticket money back by telling 2 people, and you can actually make money in your bank account by sharing it with more people. Like if you bring 10 people, you're going to earn yourself some decent money there, okay? So let me give you the money instead of the marketer. Gracie, stop it. She's licking my slippers. Come here. Let me pay you instead of a marketer that's not going to do the job nearly as well as you will, okay? Let's just share the love. I just want to give back, okay? And then we create this beautiful cycle of giving and receiving, and we all benefit. Collaboration is the way, guys. It is the way forward when we work together as one. So you've been amazing at listening. Did you press that button? Get off, doggy. I've got to go because she's driving me crazy. Get her. I love you so much. Thank you for spending all this time here with me together. I feel a real beautiful vibe in the group, actually. Maybe you guys can feel the other people here too. It's all sublime and warm and delicious. And click that link, or I'll send it to you on an email. And help me share the love, okay? And love yourself, because you're the best. Mwah! I love you so much. I will see you on the inside. Good night.